Hi, I'm Laura D. Pusey, the founder of Dippism, Death in Practice, and this is the channel where we are talking the things on dying, death, life, and grief. Each week I answer a question and I say it as I see it, because I've seen a lot. In the last video, I considered the question, is it really my fault? If you have any questions about that video, or you want me to answer a question for you, send me an email at deathinpractice@gmail.com. Okay, let us now open the veil of luminescence. With the intention of infinite truths, by the pulse of sacred light, I call forth the veil of luminescence. I anchor this veil in sovereign light to transmute and contain all energetic imprints, attachments, and residues across all realms. The material plane, where grief etches into the body. The emotional plane, where sorrow swells and purges. The mental plane, where stories of loss seek resolution. The astral plane, where echoes of the departed linger. The interdimensional corridors, where ancestral and cosmic threads intertwine. The parallel universes, where grief and grace mirror each other. This veil, woven of remembrance and radiance, is encoded with clarity to discern what is yours and what is not. Containment to protect your field, compassion to honour the sacred work of grief, transmutation to alchemize pain into wisdom. Let this veil shimmer between worlds, holding space for the divinity of each soul, the teachings where presence dissolves suffering, the soul's awakening where death births depth, the healing where grief becomes grace. This veil is not a wall but a sacred membrane, allowing only what aligns with truth, love, and remembrance to pass through. By the breath of the infinite, by the pulse of the sacred, I seal this veil with sovereignty and light. Welcome. It's great to have you here with us today. As usual, I'm looking at the effects of life and death and grief from many different perspectives. The title of this lecture is Did I Get It Wrong? And it is titled as such because there are times when we can become confused over how we feel about or have felt about someone who has died. We are all individuals with lives and experiences that affect the way that we feel and the decisions that we make. That means that sometimes we might form a relationship with someone who was not easily liked by others. Upon the death of a loved one, we might learn of information that can change our whole perspective of that relationship and have us doubting the person we knew, loved, or even admired. An extreme example of this was the change in social feeling when Jimmy Savile died. He went from saint to sinner quicker than you can say Jim will fix it, because we discovered the truth about his personal life as a deviant. We don't know everything there is to know about everyone that we encounter in life, even those closest to us, like our parents perhaps, or our siblings or closest friends, because they also have their lives with and through many different people. Some we may know, and some we may not. Maybe the journey of life is about discovering who is who and what is what, and what that means to us personally. When the opinions of other people conflict with our thoughts, feelings, beliefs, or understanding of someone we know or love, it can have us in a headspin. It can leave us doubting our past experiences, causing a form of distress that we don't feel that we can speak about freely with those closest to us. It is really important, though, that we talk it through, because our confusion can negatively affect our grief, our relationships with others, and the way that we move forward in our lives. I'm currently working on the development of my grief and loss community group CIC, where I and those I work with will be on hand to offer an ear or support for your grief or end of life planning and transition. I'll keep you updated on the CIC during future lectures, but we will be promoting our services far and wide. In the meantime, though, if you call the Samaritans, you can get a listening ear that allows you to make sense of the nonsensical aspects of your life. Some of us were taught to be seen and not heard, and some of us were raised with very toxic people in our lives that could have been seen as glowing members of our family or the community. It's tough when you know a truth that can make people feel uncomfortable, but you might get it wrong if you decide to put the feelings of others before yourself. When we are young, we are at the mercy of adults or those who are older than us. They are not always good for us, but when we grow, we can take control of our life and experiences moving forward. We can allow the past to control our future, or we can decide to work on the psychological effects of our past to elevate beyond the wrongdoers and enjoy the rest of our lives. Now, if a baddie, in the original sense, dies without our coming to terms with the past, grieving alongside others can add a layer of pain or trauma that hurts us more than the death itself. Please think about your own self and the extent to which you can safely participate in the planning, arrangements, or the funeral. You have to do what you think is best for yourself, because you have to live your life. As always, I am speaking primarily to people who look like me, commonly described as black and of the global majority. I had a client once who was sobbing as she disclosed that sometimes she hates being black. Her heart was broken by the toxic people in her life that she had been raised and was still expected to serve. I think quite a few of us can identify with that. We have so many unwritten rules that have bound us to mentally deranged, backbiting individuals that present as elders or people to be respected in the name of hierarchy. Social responsibility dictates that we owe it to others to keep going. We've been programmed to believe that it is our responsibility to maintain peace and harmony for all the other people in our lives so that they feel safe and comfortable. Now, in an ideal world, these same people would equally have your back when times get hard and you are the one that needs support. Some people do this better than others, but sometimes keeping going, maintaining peace and harmony, and turning the other cheek comes at a cost to ourselves. I am a big fan of yourself. Recognize yourself and understand that only you owe it to yourself to experience life the way that you want to. This is what you came to Earth to do. You only get it wrong when you fail to live your life for yourself. Once you put yourself first, everyone else will be better off for it. Why? Because you will be providing them with the opportunity to make decisions for themselves, even if that includes them hating you for the rest of their lives, which again is not your problem, because it is yet another experience that we have all come to Earth to have. You know the saying, misery loves company? Do you, boo? Okay, let's look at this from another perspective. There is a chance that you did get it wrong. In life, we won't get everything right. There's a saying that you can't please all of the people all the time, and you can only please some of the people some of the time. We are the decisions we make, so what matters is your next move, or the moves that you made following your actions. We spoke of guilt and shame in the last video, and I'm inclined to tell you that we can only work with the tools that we have. You may not even know what tools that you have or how to use them. Some of them are double-edged, but you know what? We have to learn how to use our tools. And oftentimes in this world, we learn and gather more helpful tools through pain, misery, and even disaster. The prisons are full of people who got it wrong or were in the wrong place at the wrong time. I put it into speech marks because I believe that whatever happened went however it was supposed to go. However it was supposed to go. We need to know how to digest our emotional pain, but we can't do that without the bigger picture. Until we know who we are and what awaits us upon death, we will always struggle with our grief, especially if the person who has died was particularly close to our hearts. I remember once reading one of the books written by Neil Donald Walsh whilst he was conversing with God. He was told that we should thank our murderer or something like that. I can't for the life of me remember which book I read it in, but I remember stopping and thinking about that for a long while. In other books that I have read, narratives that basically say that those who cause you the biggest pain in this lifetime have likely agreed to be the baddie in your story. And you know what? Our lives are stories made up of chapters and verses and choruses and poems, parts, scripts and plays. We are a bundle of programs, lies and contradictions. So much is happening inside and outside of our bodies that we are completely oblivious about. And life just keeps on lifing. That's why when I tell you, well, more so the listeners on my radio show, that you are perfect, I do mean it. Okay? You didn't come to earth to live any other life than your own. I am me and you are you. And whilst we might rub along nicely, you have your own experiences. You are truly unique, beautiful, and so wonderfully made. You can't be wrong, even if you do something that upsets the people around you. If whatever you do provides an opportunity for people to grow, learn, and adjust, then that's for them to decide whether they are going to learn, grow, or adjust. Now, before you get on your high horse, I'm not excusing anyone. I'm just saying that perhaps even the biggest villain is providing an opportunity for individual and community growth. Just think about it. See if you can see it from any other perspective. You don't have to forgive. You don't have to forget. Just see if you can lessen your own pain. Were you ever part of the nativity at school? I wasn't, but I did get the chance to perform in plays, and everyone had their own part or their bit to say. Life is like that. It's true, the world is a stage, and people move in and out of each scene. Some are in our lives for a reason, a season, and a lifetime. All are necessary, and all are strategically placed, ultimately for our highest good and experience. So, in your own way, defeat your baddie and live your life, my friend. If you have any thoughts about anything in this video and you need to share your thoughts with me, then send me an email at deathinpractice@gmail.com. State clearly whether any of your email can be shared and let me know what to call you. If you'd like a one-to-one with myself or one of my grief practitioners, contact us at www.dipism.com. The workbooks Tapestries of Grief and My Life's Tapestry are available on Amazon, and the basic Dipism End of Life course that allows you to assist those at the end of their lives, and the Dipism Cultural Grief Awareness course that helps you to assist those who are grieving, are now available online. If someone you know needs to see this video or would benefit from end of life or grief services, don't be a chump. Share the video with them. All of my links are in the description box below. And now, let us close the veil of luminescence. By the breath of the infinite, by the pulse of the sacred, I honour the veil of luminescence now fulfilled. This veil, once summoned to transmute and contain, has held the field with clarity, compassion, and sovereign light. As the teachings settle and the soul integrates, I call forth the sacred closure of this veil across all realms. On the mental plane, let the body rest in renewal. On the emotional plane, let sorrow soften into spaciousness. On the mental plane, let stories find stillness. On the astral plane, let echoes return to source. Through interdimensional corridors, let threads untangle. Across spheres and planetary systems, allow contracts to be honoured and released. Let all residues now return to their rightful place, dissolved, dispersed, or transmuted by sovereign light. Let the veil fold inward, encoded with discernment to preserve what is true, containment to seal what is sacred, compassion to cradle what remains tender, and wisdom to carry forth what has been alchemized. This veil is reabsorbed into the soul's archive, a luminous record of presence, grief, and transformation. By the breath of the infinite, by the pulse of the sacred, I seal this veil with sovereignty and light.